press, in the direct play because they didn't want to play, how we recuperate the ball and then play forward, how we have them there, our counter press, everything. But we like to put the knife there in the last 20, 25 meters to test much more the keeper because we have some unbelievable situation that we missed the last shot, the last pass. Okay, and then one action is a long ball. We lose the man as regain, and then they are running. And you have to rely on a free kick and individual quality. That's not a good bet for us. They score from that, and then they become alive because we have them. And in the second half, we score the goal, and when they're really deep, and they had really a lot of problems, and you could sense that they were tired. We didn't capitalize because we rushed the game. We give so many balls away, no circulation. We start to lose duels, and we could have ended up losing it.
So it was mentioned in commentary, actually, 2/3 of the pitch, best team in the league, perfect, kind of as you've said there. So why was that knife, that incisive moment missing in the final third, do you think?
Because that's sometimes what is missing, and we tried in various ways, but ultimately the execution there has to be in the right moment, with the right weight of pass, into the right player to after execute. And it's true that we have a lot of situations in the second half. I think we have 3 or 4 big chances, but very frustrated as well how we conceded certain transition moments is not good enough.
So Declan Rice stood here and said something very similar, particularly the last 10 minutes. Yeah. He was talking about just doing things that you never do. What happened there?
Taking goal kicks there. We were catching the ball. We want to run, give the ball away. Then is another transition, another wave, which against them is just a shot in your foot because they have so much quality that they're going to pick the right player, and normally the game should end up with a goal of Bruno.
Does that frustrate you most, actually, just that, whether it's the last part of the game? It's like, I don't recognise my team here.
It happens, so it's part of us, so we have to get better at that.
What did you make of the free kick? You already mentioned the conceding of the free kick. It comes from like a hopeful long ball. Does that annoy you more than like the strike itself?
Yeah, the way we give the ball away, yes. And then, okay, you give the foul because you are rushing. Then he still needs to do that, but you know, and we discussed that. Don't give them the option because it's very likely that this is going to happen.
Was Bruno's job made easier by a wall that was far away from the ball?
I don't know. I don't know that.
No, are you not mindful of that at all? Because it's been raised by United players. It was raised by Declan. So it's 11.2 yards.
Then he's been very smart. I'm sorry. He's been smart and he took advantage of that. This is football.
No, okay, I mean, I raised it because I thought you might expect the referee to deal with it.
Well, yeah, I do.
And it makes the free kick's job easier.
He's smarter than the ref. That's okay. They allowed him to do it.
Okay, so how difficult was it second half then against that low block? Do you think frustration plays a part in the mistakes that start people?
Because you are so good in the first half, you do so many good things, and you go 1-0 down. And mentally, it's painful, but we tried, we went for it, we scored the goal, we were really trying, but as well, we opened the gate to lose the game, and the game was completely closed. There was no chance we could lose the game, and we opened it up ourselves.
Do you excuse the players a little bit at least when you look at the concentration of injuries you've got in that forward line? Obviously Martinelli comes on, but no Saka, no Havertz, no Jesus.
I mean, I will defend my players all the time because the will to do what they want is no question about that. But in those moments, we have to be better as a team. That's it.
And do you regret not signing a striker in January? Perhaps that extra player? No, it's not about that?
No, it's not about that.
Okay, Mikel, one more. Yeah. I have to ask you about the title race because it's 15 points now. Is it too much?
Pushing, but as we reiterated, 85 points is their maximum now, which leaves Liverpool needing a maximum 16. Is it all over?
Yeah.
Really answered the question a couple of weeks ago when they were still in a closer of a shout.
Yeah, I mean, they're fifth in the league are nearer to Arsenal than what Arsenal are to first. I mean, in my opinion, I'd be saying now we've got to concentrate and make sure we get in the top 4. I mean, they're too far away. Liverpool got to lose virtually half of their football matches. They've lost 1 all season. It's not going to happen. The league's over. It's finished.
When the players speak after the game, they're talking about we just didn't have any cutting edge. You've got to have cutting edge. Cutting edge is very, very important. It's like as if to say, well, once we get that back, but if you've lost that cutting edge and you're not scoring goals, or you don't look like you're going to score goals, then forget about closing any gap on Liverpool. I agree. I think you should be more worried about the teams coming up behind you. Because cutting edge at this level, we've seen it, the amount of times they had possession in United's final third, but we never thought they were certainly going to score 2 or 3 goals, and that's a big part of football.
Why does it go from having cutting edge one game, which they did midweek?
Well, to
Declan's point, they haven't lost at home for 2.5 years.
Yeah,
they've beaten Liverpool, all right, a weakened Liverpool, but Juventus as well.
But that just shows you, I think, the level of this league is relentless. And don't get me wrong, I think
what Manchester United did. They sat deep, made it really difficult for them. But when I think about Arsenal at their best, I think about real pace on the counter-attack. And any time there's any space, when you've got Bukayo Saka, you know, when you play with Trossard and Pedro Marino, you haven't got that pace that's really going to... You're not really going to worry about it. Waneri on the right gives you something, but in that respect, that means you can always go out and double up against him. And they haven't. He summed it up perfectly. It's a perfect analysis. We haven't got that cutting edge with the players they've got right now. And they're not playing at that level, and they're not threatening teams. They're playing lovely football, intricate passes, but unless they're going to score from something from outside the box, the set pieces have dried up. So nothing really is going Arsenal's way. And I agree, they've got to be careful what's going behind them.
You're saying they scored 7 during the week, but they didn't have any swagger about them today. They did like nice bits of possession. But if anything, at the end, you're thinking United are probably going to win it. And United have been dreadful all season. They've produced in 3 or 4 games, United, but you felt sitting there. So I'd be looking at Arsenal's mentality and their swagger going, where was it? You're coming to United. You must smell that United here for the taking. United were sitting in and hoped, obviously, on the counter-attack. But Arsenal didn't show that. They weren't streetwise, and at the end they were really open, and United probably should have won the game.
But how do you explain that? That sounds like it's a mentality issue.
Well, it might be. It might be. So we're praising Arsenal the last few years, saying they've done well and they've made progress. But the next step is always the hardest one. So this idea of the last few years going, oh, they've made real progress, they finished second, blah. Well, if you're playing for Arsenal, remember, what could a second to you? If you're talking about winning league titles, don't compare it to United, but where they are. But the next step, getting over the line, is the hardest one. But I'm not seeing an Arsenal team here where they turned up today and you went, I tell you what, they were machine-like, they put United, they knew United were there for the taking, and they weren't even ready to take that step. So forget Liverpool. Be more worried about the teams coming up behind you. I wasn't happy with their mindset. And even Declan Duran was going, well, yeah, we got a bit stretched, we were playing patterns of play, and United probably should have won it at the end against a really poor United team.